This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. COVID fallout pushing up crime, says St. Mary Cop. Financial challenges resulting from the recent lockdowns, which were aimed at slowing the spread of the novel coronavirus, are among factors pushing up robberies and similar crimes in St. Mary. Commanding officer for the parish, Superintendent Bobette Morgan Simpson, made the declaration Wednesday evening while addressing a community meeting she hosted at St. Mary's Anglican Church Hall in the parish capital, Port Maria. COVID would have locked down some sectors in the country for just about 2 years, and what we find coming out of that, or what will happen, is that we will end up with some accusatory crimes, and we are seeing that happening, she told the gathering. We find that persons were locked down, and so persons are hungry for money. The criminals are out there and they don't rest. Morgan Simpson listed a number of what she described as trends being utilized by robbers, especially in communities on the western side of the parish, close to the St. Anne border. Among them is the impersonation of the police by hoodlums traveling in a motor car. There is a white car with blue flashing light operating between Trelawny, St. Anne, and St. Mary. We have no white police car with flashing lights in St. Mary. We don't have any. So if you see a white car with a flashing light stopping you, do not stop, because you could be setting up yourself to be robbed, the senior crime fighter advised the residents. She made reference to some cases in which people traveling from banks in St. Anne have been trailed by criminals who rob or attempt to rob them when they enter communities such as Boscobel and a racecourse in St. Mary. One victim, Morgan Simpson said, was carrying $600,000, and a would-be victim had $800,000. She encouraged the use of electronic banking or greater reliance on law enforcement. When you have large sums of cash, do not be careless with the money. Ask us for assistance. If you are in St. Anne, go to the police. You will get help, because no police wants a robbery or murder to be added to their stats, she said. According to her, another criminal trend observed in St. Mary is the theft of game machines, popularly referred to as poker boxes. We find that bars are being broken into and the poker boxes are being removed. What we also find is that some of these places are not properly secured, Morgan Simpson lamented. She also appealed for residents to, among other things, become aware of their environment, seek the police's help in establishing neighborhood watches, install CCTV systems, and do proper background checks on people seeking to rent their houses and motor vehicles. 3 arrested in Westmoreland after gun found under pillow. The Westmoreland police have now charged 3 men who were on Wednesday arrested after they were held with an illegal firearm and ammunition. The police say one Bersa Thunder 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 3 9mm rounds of ammunition were seized during an operation in Gordon District, White House, Westmoreland on Wednesday, April 27. Charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition are 21-year-old Roger Webb, 18-year-old Kyle Campbell, and 20-year-old Anthony Fraser, all of Gordon District addresses in the parish. Reports from the White House police are that about 4:48 a.m., lawmen were in the area when they searched the premises that was occupied by 4 men. During a search of the premises, the firearm was found under a pillow on a bed. Following a question-and-answer session in the presence of their attorneys, Webb, Campbell, and Fraser were jointly charged. However, their court date has not been finalized. The 4th man was questioned and released. Police Federation head blasts the government, warns effort will match compensation. Jamaica Police Federation Chairman Corporal Rohan James has blasted the government, in particular the Finance Ministry, for its handling of the current wage negotiations, going as far as labeling them modern-day slave masters. Speaking at a parish conference for the Trelawny division of the Jamaica Constabulary Force on Thursday, James did not hold back in his assessment of how things were going. We are the foot soldiers, the vanguards of the people of Jamaica, and I am not going to retract this statement by saying our employers are modern-day enslavers. Enough is enough, he declared as he took the government to task over the issue of cops' overtime payments, a matter that is now before the courts. The government has seen it fit to go to trial, notwithstanding they have admitted to us that they themselves have breached arrangements in the form of the contract that we signed. And instead of taking humility and humanity and accept and submit and to accede and to pay due regard for the benevolence that the members have served this country, not only with blood, sweat, and tears, but with lives, they have sought to go to the court and engage in a full trial. And now we await a judgment on the 3rd of June, he lamented. James also criticized the much-touted compensation review. The government, our employer, has indicated that they are in for a compensation review, and it is worse off than what they have shared with the public, what they have shared with us. Based on our posture, they have withdrawn the document that was served upon us yesterday because we are not going to retreat, he vowed. The figures shown to us are despicable, distasteful, and are a downright insult to our intellect and to our profession and the service and the risk associated with the profession, James said. The entire episode, he said, has caused the widening of the trust deficit between the rank and file members of the police force and the Ministry of Finance. The Federation chairman called on the government to dedicate the resources needed to effectively fight crime, including paying the police a decent wage. We are going into a central conference on the 17th of May 2022 in this very same parish of Trelawny, and I am saying to Jamaica, all is not well, all is not well. Tom drunk, but Tom no fool. The time has come for the government to put the capital into crime fighting and to stop paying lip service and paying scant regard to the men and women, and we are going to put a stop to it once and for all, said James. He gave an assurance that members of the JCF will not strike, but warned that the effort they put in will match the compensation they receive. I am saying to the people of Jamaica, our stakeholders, I am not going to withdraw the service of the men and women of the Jamaica Constabulary Force rank and file cohort. But one thing I can tell you, if it means that the government can only afford to pay you for 40 hours per week with the stipulation that the officers get the mandatory break, then it means that you are going to get what you are being paid for and the service that the government, our employer, seeks to pay for. That is the service that you are going to be getting, said James. Trelawny sees rise in lottery scamming and murders. Lottery scamming is reportedly on the rise in Trelawny. Superintendent Carlos Russell, commanding officer for the Trelawny Police Division, disclosed that scamming is taking hold in usually quiet farming communities, especially in southern Trelawny. Superintendent Russell noted that more young people are gravitating towards scamming because they see it as a way of making faster cash, and they see the flashy life that some of these scammers are living, so some of them want to be a part of that. However, he implored parents and other persons of influence to dissuade the young people from getting involved in lottery scamming. Superintendent Russell said there was a significant increase in murders in Trelawny during the first 3 months of this year. The parish recorded 15 murders compared to 4 during the same period in 2021. 2 of the incidents were gang-related and resulted in 5 deaths. Some of the other murders were from domestic disputes. Superintendent Russell said there is now a lull in murders and he believes the police have the situation under control. We have seen that since the past few weeks that the trend has been going down, and we want to continue in that vein, and we believe that come the end of the year we may not have a big reduction, but we will not go over by far either. Superintendent Russell was speaking with the media following a police divisional conference in the parish on Thursday.
We are seeing some areas that are normally quiet, some farming communities, especially up in southern Trelawny, that the lottery scamming is creeping in, and you find more and more young people that are gravitating towards the lottery scamming because they see it as a way of making fast cash, and they see the flashy life that some of these scammers are living, so some of them want a part of that. We believe that the situation that affected us in the first quarter is now under control, and we have seen that since the past few weeks that the trend has been going down, and we want to continue in that vein, and we believe that come the end of the year we may not have a big reduction, but will not go over by far either.
Man charged with shooting death of 2 in St. Elizabeth remanded. Carlos Beckford, who is charged with the fatal shooting of 2 men in New Malvern, St. Elizabeth on April 13, was remanded when he appeared in the St. Elizabeth Parish Court on Thursday. The court was informed that the case file was incomplete as there were several outstanding statements. Mr. Beckford, 37, is scheduled to return to court on May 5 when his attorney will make a bail application. He is charged with the murder of 39-year-old Mason Michael James and a 51-year-old farmer Courtney Smith. Investigators say Mr. Beckford transported gunmen to New Malvern and was arrested when the getaway vehicle was intercepted by the police. A cellular phone that was stolen from Mr. Smith was reportedly found in the vehicle. Investigators say Mr. Beckford and the other suspects carried out a series of break-ins and robberies in the Hampton area in St. Elizabeth. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.